Hi everyone, it's Pedro Bias, Go for Glory Stable. Today is October 5th, 2025, and this is a video on the yearlings purchased, the two yearlings purchased from the Goshen sale, plus the four yearlings purchased from Lexington sale. And just a reminder, I'm the managing partner and founder of Go for Glory, and working with Charlie Longo, general manager of the group. And yeah, this is just a video just to I wanted to just go and kind of like specifically um, uh, what we liked about those yearlings and sorry, and what we liked about those yearlings and uh, why we're happy with them and kind of like where they are right now. So um, let's get started right away. So let's start with Goshen, and the reason why we're lumping in Goshen even with the Lexington yearlings we just got is because Goshen. This was I can't recall how it was last year, but this year had we brought in six yearlings in 2 weeks because it was Goshen, then literally 2 weeks later was Lexington. So I can't recall if that's how it was last year. I gotta look, but that's why things are a little intense. So let's start with seven Seagrams. So I just basically we're gonna go through the yearlings we bought and what we think about them and kind of the thought process with them and uh, why we got them, all this and all that. So we're going to start with seven Seagrams. So let's just start with her pedigree. We got her for $17,000 at the Goshen sale, which was a bargain, unbelievable bargain. So um, let's look at her family first. So she is born in April 26th, which is okay. You want them. April's a good month. January to April is a good month. May isn't bad either, but once you start getting into like the second half of May or like late May and then especially like early June, it's like you got to really hope they're mature enough as 2 year olds. 3 year olds, it should be okay, but 2 year olds specifically, when they're those six, if you got a January foal versus a June foal, that's like, 6 months in in horse years, like 6 months of maturing that of a of a of advantage they have. And like I said, you heard me on previous videos, you see that all the time with even in sports. Like you look at sports and you always see like they're kind of born, the best athletes are always kind of like born and like, they're always like older for their class and stuff. And that's by design. If you don't want to, if the kids have a whole year on you in human years, that's tough. And horses, if they got 6 months on you, that's tough. So we try to look for them as early as possible. But yeah, she's an April, later April, which is still okay. She's a six pack, and six pack when he first became a sire a few years ago. He was in New Jersey, and he really wasn't getting a lot of love, and he never really got any monsters for the first couple years, and then he finally hit pay dirt this year, 2025, with a Nordic catcher, winning the Hambletonian for Okies Fonstead. So and Corner Store. So we'll get to that in a second, but. She's a seven Seagrams is a six pack. She's a six pack filly, filly trotter, New Jersey only. So she wasn't Massachusetts eligible or Kentucky eligible. And New Jersey keeps the price down. So because New Jersey's tough. If you're only New Jersey and that's it, you got. I think there's actually a new series. I gotta look it up. There's a new. I think New Jersey's actually offering like a secondary level coming up soon. We will get back to you on that one. Um, may have to search for it. But the reason why people have shied away from New Jersey is because um it's kind of like, oh, they got the New Jersey Sire Stakes, which is just two legs for like 20 or 25 grand, and it's early in the year. It's like in July. It's really early. So it's like you gotta get these babies ready really quickly. Um, or even the 3 year olds, you gotta get them ready really quickly. And the horses go really fast. Like the trotters in New Jersey perspective, you got Muscle Hill, Tactical Landing, uh, Walner, and then you had Six Pack for a few years. Now you got Ecurie D, and I think it might be somebody else. I can't remember. Somebody new. But and you got New Jersey Sire Stakes, and there's no secondary level. So like there's no, how in New York you have Excelsior and you got the fairs. In Pennsylvania you got Stallions and you got the fairs. And New Jersey is it's just New Jersey Sire Stakes. That's it. So if you can't compete in New Jersey Sire Stakes, then you're just racing for pennies, and then you might you're praying to get to be in the consolation and maybe make some money in the consolation, but even those horses are tough. So that's why New Jersey people kind of stay away from, especially New Jersey only trotters. The Pacers, you kind of rolling the dice because um, there's really not a lot of options. You got like Perfect Sting, I think like tattoo artist, I want to say. Um, uh, um, there was one in Ontario. I forgot his name. Cattle Wash was in New Jersey for a bit. Better's Wish. I can't remember if he's back in New Jersey, but the Pacers aren't really that great. So um, you're kind of like rolling the dice on the pacing side. But the Trotters, you can really get a nice Trotter. It's just that it's going to be tough in New Jersey. So that was a lot of talk about New Jersey. It's still a great program, and you can still make a lot of money, especially if you have a good one. And they got New Jersey Classic, which races in September, and they go for good money, really good money too. Um, and there are some other races like the Renaissance and New Jersey Standardbred Fund that they have. It used to be when Freehold was open. That was really nice because then if you had a horse that was like really good in the half, you can kind of go to Freehold for those New Jersey races and try to make some money there. We don't have Freehold anymore, unfortunately, so kind of all at Meadowlands. And yeah, as you know, any almost every horse can do a mile. I mean, they might not be the best at it, but there's no turns and everything, so it's very forgiving. So yeah, so all that being said, long story. That's why Seven Seagrams was cheap if you look at it from face value. She's just a New Jersey trotting filly from six pack, who's not a top uh, New Jersey stallion, even with the handle win. Um, she has a Chapter Seven mother, and we're a big fan of Chapter Seven dams. Chapter Seven is to me and to a lot of people the best trotting stallion in the world. And he's even doing it from the broodmare side, from the the mares who are chapter sevens having foals, even they're pumping out champions. So it's like a this is kind of like a backdoor way to get a chapter seven, because they're so expensive to buy like a pure chapter seven sired horse. They're so expensive. So you get a chapter seven mares, you can still get that chapter seven blood in there without having to pay a fortune. So this is why we wanted um, seven Seagrams is Paul Kelly has Corner Store. And before the sale, you see this right here, there's 151 and 3. Before the sale, she did not have 151 and 3. I think she was like 154 or like 152 beaten time, something like that. It wasn't this, and it wasn't this. I think she was like 77,000 made, 53 or 54. So, it didn't really look too crazy. And she had this dirty money horse, cash all that made 200,000. She had the spending money, spending crazy who made 100,000. Commissary No, who's been doing well in the fairs. And then, she had the rest of her family, 100,000. This Buzz horse, who I think he might still be racing. If you look at her family up and down the line, it's actually a really nice family. All Ambassador Hanover, it's a really nice family all the way through. And but her immediate family, five foals, four winners, and then this horse, she still raced. She just wasn't very good, but she still made it to the races, and I think she just wasn't that good. Um, um, so with that being said, we knew how good Corner Store was, so we wanted to take a chance on this one. Well, when Corner Store just went in 151 and 3 at Plainridge, and has a track record and has a Masters of Sire Stakes or Breeder Stakes track record, fastest six pack ever, fastest 3-year-old trotting filly on the 5/8 this year. Um, yeah, so she just put seven Seagrams on the map. So everyone who bought seven Seagrams is now living the life. And you paid 17 grand for her. And as a broodmare right now, this is my guess. The fact that her full sister is a track record holder and still going, um, I would say, somebody who's more of a yearling expert will probably correct me. But for me personally, I'm thinking no, I'm thinking as a pure broodmare, we can probably get somewhere between 40 to 55, 60,000 for seven Seagrams. Meaning if she never even races, we can probably get 50,000 for her. And then right now as a yearling, I mean, the Harrisburg sale is you can't enter. I don't think you can enter a yearling, but we're not going to do that anyway. But you put this horse in Harrisburg with that full sister she got. She's probably 60, 75,000 yearling. So congratulations to all the seven Seagrams owners and everyone who got in on her. You did it. That doesn't always that this is like rare. Like this isn't how it always works. But this is why we always say trotting fillies. That secondary play with the broodmare is very real. It's very real. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, you can't quantify it. Oh, how much is broodmare value do they really have?" People always say broodmare value. I sold one for 15,000. If you got a horse that has legit family, especially a trotting filly, not the pacers, I'm talking about trotters, it's very real. The breeding market and the owner market is very strong right now. So um uh so yeah, so everyone who got 7 Seagrams got lucky. Watch her video real quick just to give you an idea how she looks, and she looks just like her sister, corner store. They're both precocious, kind of high strung, high energy. But that's fine, you can harness it. And she looks really good. She's a really nice looking filly. And she, like I said, just like corner store, from the beginning they looked correct. Like well proportioned, nice little gap there between those knees. You don't want to see them kind of running like diagonal, like this, because then they're gonna hit their knees. So she got a nice space there between those, a good space between those legs. You don't want them hitting their knees and everything. And look at that. I mean, she's just trotting in the field right there. She looks good. You know, um, She's got some size to her, height wise. She's not a tiny thing at all. She's got some size to her. So that's why 17,000 was it was shocking. We were willing to go 35 on her, um, even for New Jersey only. So yeah, it worked out. It worked out very well. So that's 7 Seagrams. Um, good job everyone who got in on her, and then we'll move to the next one for the Goshen sale. So I don't think anyone's going to be selling their 7 Seagram shares anytime soon. So, but I just wanted to use her as um, an example of why we do it. Why we love the baby game so much. It's different than the claimers and the overnight racehorses. You get these. It's a whole different ball game, but to me, there's nothing more fun in the world. So anyway, here is a Solar Queen. She's a January foal, which is excellent. So she's going to be, in theory, she's should be more, in theory, potentially more mature than the other horses, and because she's older than a lot of them. January. She's a Metz Hall, which Metz Hall is a New York striding stallion. He's not a premier one at all. So I mean, it's Chapter 7 is the best in New York, and then after that, it's kind of like anyone's game. I mean, then you start getting into like the Crazy Wows, Metz Hall, Devious Man. Back of the neck is new this year, so no one really knows how he's going to do. Um, I'm sure I'm missing one for last year for this year, but um, so Metzall, hasn't really gotten a lot of love. Metzall does have a monster with Sir Pinocchio, and so this is one of the biggest reasons why we like this filly, among many other reasons, is she's a Metzall, and there we go, Chapter 7. She's a Metz Hall with a Chapter 7 mother. So we're getting that Chapter 7 blood kind of the back way through the mare. It's too expensive. This horse, if she was a straight up Chapter 7, she would have been 50, 75,000. But Metz Hall, the big spenders aren't going to buy a Metz Hall. But then we get the Chapter 7 mare, so it's like, all right, we're still getting that premier bloodline through there. So that was a big draw. And you might be like, oh well, Chapter 7, you really love Chapter 7 mares. Corner store Chapter 7 mare, 7 Seagrams, Solar Queen. Well, Solar Queen we don't know what 7 Seagrams and Solar Queen are gonna be, but Geologic, Chapter 7 mare, and that's one of the reasons why he sold for so much, is everyone knows. He was a Captain Corey, which no one knew about at the time how good Captain Corey was gonna be, but chap the Chapter 7 mare, everyone was like, you know what, we'll take a chance on that one. And if you look at Geologic, compared to his siblings, you know, well, that's just the Captain Corey side, but the Chapter 7 mares are in demand and everyone knows it. And the big owners, they'll be willing to take a stab on some lesser stallions if they got that. So so that was a big thing. And Sir Pinocchio, who was the best Metz Hall that ever came out of uh best racehorse that ever came out of Metz Hall, is a Metz Hall to a Chapter 7 dam. So Solar Queen is 75% relative of Sir Pinocchio. So we'll see what that means, and I'll even show you some stuff like here. If you all ever use a Stallion Showcase, this thing is really great. Um, it's for free. And you'll see, like Metz Hall, you can see the crosses here, and uh, Conway Hall, it's like a further, it's like a couple, it's like the grandfather of Chapter 7. As you can see, Metz Hall with Conway Halls do really well, really well. And then they don't really, I don't know why they don't have Chapter 7 here. Maybe there weren't that many, but Sir Pinocchio is in this uh, all other broodmares uh, category. He made 861,000, but all these, I think, like met your requests. I gotta pull it up. I don't have it up in front of me, but I pulled it up before. These horses, like a bunch of almost all these horses are to Chapter 7 dams or Conway Hall dams. Almost all of these. So that's why that's why we're taking the chance, and that's why she went for 20,000. We were hoping we can get her for cheaper, but she went for 20,000, and same reason everybody knows. So she's from that, and it's the first foal. So first foal, so you don't know what this. I like some people. There's two ways to look at it. There's people like first foals because you're like, wow, maybe this mare might be unbelievable. Become like a foundation mare and start pumping out monsters every year, and that's why you people like taking chances on first foal. And then on the flip side, you don't know what she's going to be. So if she had five foals and all five foals made it to the races and were incredible, then you're like, well, then a yearling will cost a lot because then it's kind of more like a proven thing. That's more where like a seven Seagrams where her family always made it for the most part, always made it. So, which still baffles me why we got her for 17, but I think it's a New Jersey thing. But if you look at Solar Queen, we got a first fall from a Chapter 7 dam, young Chapter 7 dam. I guess not that young. Like she was born 10 years ago. Um, Market Rally in the family, 700,000. This possibility 145,000. Still was racing last year. So it's a good family overall. It's not blowing the doors off. It's not as good as um Seven Seagram's family, but um it's solid. It's solid. And we're really making a play on how she looks and this overall family. So we're t we are ready to take a chance on those any day of the week. It's just look, if it works, why fix it? So, oh yeah, let's watch her video just so that you can kind of see how she looked from a video perspective. She's also eligible to Maryland, um, which is okay. All right, so let's. She got those dapples, those little like circles there. They're called dapples. So she's dappled up, meaning she's healthy, happy, eating well. That's a good thing. You love to see dapples. So there she is. She looks really nice. She's not really asking for much. She got a really nice big neck to her. Nice big neck to her. Yeah, but she looks, as you can tell, she looks different than um a six-pack filly like Seven Seagrams. Nice little gap there between the legs. So that's good. Both horses were scoped and checked out and inspected, and they met the requirements from the trainer's perspective of what they're looking for. Legs aren't crooked or anything like that. And yeah, she's just a really nice looking filly. Well proportioned all the way down, strong legs, strong chest, everything. So we'll see what she's going to become, and we're looking forward to both of them. So those are the Goshen yearlings. Let's jump to the Lexington yearlings. All right, Lexington. We're going to start with I guess we'll go by hip. So I think it's 482. 482 was the first one, and 482 I want to say was that Scene Lundy? Let's see here. 482 Scene Lundy. All right, let's start with Scene Lundy. So that's her right here. And she was the one that we got for a bargain. She was the one that um I liked a lot heading into the sale. There's no one, I liked her a lot, but then 22,000, I was like, that's incredible. So we got her for 22,000. She's in Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, and Kentucky. She's January foal, so she's early in the year, which we love to see. We love January foals. She's a filly. And what we just talked about, like with Solar Queen, first foal, first foal, Muscle Hill. So if you all probably know by now, Muscle Hill is, I mean, he's similar to Chapter Seven. He's the king. I mean, Chapter Seven kind of took over in Walner and everything, but for a long time, Muscle Hill was the king of the trotting, the trotters, and he's still pumping out champions to this day. And so you get a horse that's a first foal from a Muscle Hair mare. Yeah, the Muscle Hill mare, she was racing in Kentucky, so those times might be a little faster than what she could truly be, but you still get that Muscle Hill. It's like a big, it's once again, it's like a back way. It's like a back way to get in to get that Muscle Hill bloodline in there. So that's a big time draw for this horse. January foal, first foal, Muscle Hill mare, International Money, who's a very solid stallion. Um, he's every single year he's producing winners. Um, we'll just pull up some of his horses just so you can get an idea of kind of what he's been doing. So this year, 2 year olds, he already got one 2 year old over 100, another 2 year old almost at 100. 3 year olds looks like he didn't do that well with two over 100. Um, and then if you look at all time, huh? I used a list of Hanover in the settings, but he got rarely something, which I completely missed. But anyway, he's pumped out some really nice horses. Austro Hanover, that's brutal. We'll see that there because we had him, so that's very brutal. But he's a great horse, and all Intermischief, these are really nice horses. So International Money is he kind of gets like look people kind of like ignore him over there in Pennsylvania. Um, they're more going after like the bar hoppings for a while, the green shoes, Father Patrick's. Um, I'm sure there's somebody else I'm missing, I think. But and uh and I'm probably gonna remember it. I'm gonna kick myself. But and he kind of gets overshadowed over there, and but he's excellent. Every single year he shows up. So Captain Corey, yeah, that's where I knew I was missing one. Captain Corey, how can I miss that one? Where the she is so that's what she is, beautiful International Money, first first fall from a Muscle Hill mare, which is amazing. In her family she already has a champion International Money with Intermischief, so that's great to see. um and then just solid all the way through. I mean, just a whole bunch of $100,000 winners, just solid all the way through. you know Six foals, five winners. What do we got? Four foals, three winners. So meaning the family they produce racehorses. Three foals, three winners, they produce racehorses. That's what this family does. So it's just a matter of how good they can be. And, then we'll go from there. So there's no reason why she can't be a good one. 22,000 was incredible. Let's look at her video. I mean, 22,000, I mean, that's like Broodmare value, basically. I mean, alone. Although International Money doesn't have like, um, actually does have some nice Broodmares. But all right, let's take a look here. The video. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this filly. You know, she's beautiful. She's nice chest to her, nice, nice gait to her. She kind of looks like that Muscle Hill. Like that's what I'm trying to say. Like she doesn't look like a plain old International Money. Like you look at her and you kind of see like her bottom part looks like her legs and everything kind of, and her shoulders kind of look like International Money, but she's like more muscular and like, big body like a Muscle Hill. So that's why you want those, Muscle Hill, Walner, Chapter Seven. You kind of want those nice sires to be on the dam side because you kind of get that really premier blood into the horse without having to get a Muscle Hill ourselves. So yeah, everything about her looks fine. She's a really nice looking filly, and we didn't get that much. Yeah, I'm looking right now. Like she got a nice little gait to her, powerful gait. She's not. She's plenty plenty uh large and size wise. Yeah, she's a really nice horse. No reason why she can't be good. Looking forward to her. So let's move on to the next one. 482. Next one was 530. That was Ma's Always Right. And by the way, the next three are going to all be International Money. So I'm not going to talk about International Money such anymore. So let's talk about Ma's all right. This is a picture of her, and she's a beautiful. She's beautiful. And she was 75,000, and rightfully so. So she deserved to be 75,000. She's an early March fall, basically February. So that's what we're looking for. Chocolatier mare. Chocolatier is from a credit winner. So you'll see when we show the video, like she does have like that. Whereas seeing Lindy kind of had that Muscle Hill type frame, bulkier, heavier, bulkier, muscular type frame. You'll see Ma's always right because she's from the credit winner, chocolatier credit winner line. She's more of like a racy Captain Corey. Well, the Captain Corey's have like long legs. She's more of like a racy looking like racehorse, like athletic looking. And people, especially breeders, they pay a lot of money for athletic looking racehorses. So, and look at her family. This is a really high producing family, five foals, four winners. Um, and then even this mare up here, this Muscle Hill mare, produced two fast racehorses. This one won in 53 and 4, or beaten, or at least won in 53 and 4 this year. And then you had this one right here. So this is power packed family. This one made 169,000. 100,000. This one almost made 100,000, so it's a really nice family. Then you get down here, you get a world champion, Snow White, another 500,000, and that winner produced another 500,000. So this whole family is this is this is why it costs 75,000. At yearling sales. If the families are weak, n- the owners aren't going to pay for it. But when your families are strong, especially from a filly side, they'll pay for it because this horse right here, Ma was right. She has proven that she can produce winners. So you can make the argument, well, why can't this horse? And then um so that all goes into it, and um amazing family. So amazing family, looks great. And when I say amazing family, it means that in theory she can have a lot of broodmare value. Um So that's why the price goes up because that's when you buy the Colts, you don't really have there is no broodmare value. You're either buying to be a racehorse or you're praying it could be a stallion. So with the fillies, there's that broodmare value built in where people are willing to pay up to that broodmare value. Just be like, you know what, I know I can always get that back no matter what. And then it's kind of like the premium above it. So that 75 tells me that she's probably worth pretty decent money as a broodmare alone. I don't know what that is. Maybe 30 to 40, 30 to 50. I don't know exactly what that number is, but that's what that means. Like, all right, she has a lot of broodmare value to start. So that's always good. Like we saw that with Adios My Lindy, where we paid 70,000 for her. And right now, if you look at her family took off, like really took off, kind of like Seven Seagram did. And yeah, Adios My Lindy, like I'd say we probably can get somewhere between 50. It's a big number. It's a big range, somewhere between 50 to 100,000 for her as a broodmare. And the reason I say that is because she's a Walner and she's a big, beautiful filly, and she's actually racing well. So that's why that boosted up again because she's actually making money, and has good speed. And then um, her siblings. So same thing here. We there's no reason why this horse can't be, uh, not no reason, but it's proven right in front of our face that this horse has excellent broodmare value. So that led to her being 75, and rightfully so. And then if we look at her video, Lindy Farms, which is where we usually look for a lot of our Massachusetts horses, number one breeder in Massachusetts for Massachusetts breds, been around for many years. All right, let's see if this thing will cooperate with me. Here we go. Ma's always right. So as you saw from the previous video, you see how she's a little bit more athletic looking. It's more slender, more you can kind of like see those joints a little bit more defined. A little bit you can see like really, it's really like defined, like where her I don't want to say the bones, but um, her frame. And then yeah, she's got that nice looking smart face and smart eyes to her, and nice little gait to her. You see that it's like a really flawless trot, even though she's just going around the fence. All that room right there in the middle, nice strong chest, nice strong hind area. So yeah, I mean this is everything you want in the filly, and yeah, she's good size to her. So that's why I like trotting fillies because you have the racehorse potential, but then you always have like some sort of insurance in the back end from selling as a mare, as a brood mare. So that is Ma's all right. So yeah, we're looking forward to her. She's our top filly that we purchased from the sale. And we are looking forward to her. She's really nice. She's really nice and it's got the family to back it up and there's no reason why she can't be good. She was our most high quality our quality yearling purchase from the sale. All right, let's go to on tap Lindy. On tap Lindy was the number one Massachusetts colt that Paul had in the sale. So he's a really nice one. Really nice one. More longer body than the others. So let's look at his pedigree first. And early April, which is perfect. He's a colt. Same three jurisdictions, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Massachusetts. And he's from a Cantab Hall mare. And you can't go wrong with Cantab Hall mares. I mean, they've been producing champions since forever. So his family hasn't done too much to this date, so that's probably why his price was a little bit down, which is just, hey, no issue. We'll take that any day of the week for but he does have a nice family with Rum Bookie, you got Dan Patch winner, plus a lot of six-figure horses, and then you can see they've produced six-figure horses. So he has a very power pack family, excellent family. Look at Rebuff is in there. So I mean, this is an um, excellent family for a Colt. So that kind of gives you an indication that he has a chance because his family's so good. And then the big thing with Colts is, and this is what Paul always talks about, is from a Colt perspective, it matters more kind of how they look. He wants to see family. He needs to see family. Not going to take one without a pretty good family, but how they look, like and is like the biggest driver. So let's go take a look. Let's go see how he looks. On tap Lindy. He's Paul's number one Massachusetts Colt. Yeah, you see that long body? That long body he has? The same long body Geologic has. So I'm not surprised. Paul looks for certain types of horses. Each trainer has their own type of horses they look for, but yeah, I mean, I could see that he's that long body, beautiful long legs, very well proportioned, nice strong neck, nice strong. I mean, this is like the perfect racehorse. You know, he got that little thing going on like Moneyman did in his videos. Very wide. You see that? Strong chest, very wide. His very strong hind area. I mean, that's you know, he's a really nice one. He's a really nice colt. You know, he's like a prototypical, um, like one of those prototypical champion like racehorses. Not saying he will, but I mean, he looks like one. So, he's got that nice height to him. Yeah, he's just a really beautiful horse. 40,000 was steal. I thought we were going to go much higher than that. And then once it stopped at 40, I was kind of like, really? We just got him at 40? Okay, take it. Overall, this sale was incredible for us. It truly was. I mean, this was it. I for the first time in a while, I was kind of like, wow, we're actually getting like I thought Miles all right. I thought she was going to be way more than we can. I thought she was going to be over 100,000 or something like that, or 125. So for us to get her at 75, psh, I was very happy. So here's Loving on Louis. And by the way, late breaking news, we will get that name changed. So he's a beautiful. This guy is a physical specimen. So the other one, on tap Lindy, he kind of just looks like a traditional Cantab Hall, beautiful racehorse, you know, Grand Circuit, body and everything. Look at this guy. I mean, he looks like he's lifting weights every day. Looks like he's just doing squats every single day of the week in Lipton. I mean, this is some type of racehorse, and he's only 2 years old. Granted, it might be what the breeder does to them and how they prepare them and everything like that, but sale prep. But maybe he's doing more sale prep than other breeders. But yeah, his name's gonna Paul's gonna look into changing his name. That Lebanon Louis, the breeder is big into fashion and stuff, so that's why the other in this family are like all fashion horses, like Balenciaga, Lebanon Louis, love my Jimmy Choos, all that stuff. So, but yeah, we're not gonna roll with it. So, but yeah, he's a New York, Kentucky Colt March foal, which is perfect for us. And he's from Crazy Wow. So Crazy Wow is actually a sneaky good trotting sire. He's first started in New York with a very small crop, and we actually had that first crop. We had a filly. We paid 30,000 for a Crazy for Love from that first crop, and she was okay. She wasn't bad. I mean, she became a racehorse. She was an Excelsior horse for her as a 2-year-old, made it to the final and broke. She had braking issues. She kept breaking, um, and um, but I think that was more like her family side, her from the mayor side. But yeah, the Crazy Wows are great. If you look in New York, when the Crazy Wows were in vogue, like in the first couple years, I think the first 2 years, they actually were showing up in the New York Star Stakes all the time. There was $1 million winner already from Crazy Wow, Chapper Kraz. I think Burke has them, and then there's other ones that were like cheap that everybody wasn't even considering, and they were going for really cheap, like 7,000, $10,000, and they became champions. So Crazy Wow was excellent, excellent. And Crazy Wow himself was a champion as a 2 and 3-year-old with it was like a smaller trainer, and then he went. I guess he was sold to Ron Burke and became like a Grand Circuit horse, like a free for aller. So for years. So yeah, so Crazy Well, I'm a big fan of, and I'm happy that we went back to the well here. I was looking, it's a great way to race in New York without paying a fortune. And Crazy Well is like, um, it's definitely like for that right now, probably right below the Chapter Sevens. We don't know what back of the neck is gonna do. We already kind of know what the Devious Mans and the Mets Halls do, but Crazy Wild, now that Crazy Wild's back in New York, it's definitely like right below the Chapter Seven in my mind. We got to see what back of the neck is. Maybe his first crop will just completely change the game. Maybe he won't. So we got to see. Right now, to me, Crazy Wild is right behind Chapter Seven. So Balenciaga, um, another can tap ball. So can tap ball, just like on tap Lindy we just saw. Can tap ball, Mayor. Balenciaga made 360. Now it's like over 380,000. And Paul, you see it's 51 and 1, 51 and 3. I mean, that's a mark of 51 and 3. Um, and he's chapter 7, and he did a lot of damage. I think he's over 380,000 now, so he's getting close to 400,000. And he missed his whole 2-year-old season, and he missed his whole 5-year-old season. So that number would be way more if he didn't miss that time. 2-year-old season, I think he's like, yeah, like a lung thing going on, and then his 5-year-old season he tore suspensory, but he came back, so he's racing now. But he's still not quite back to what he was when he was a monster as a 3 and 4-year-old. So, but he's getting there. So anyway, good family, great family. Um, and just solid overall. But the big thing, like we always say, or with the Colts especially, how they look, how they look. So with this guy, and this is why he sold for 40,000. Paul thought he might. We were willing to spend up to 50 or 60. Um, but yeah, if you see him here, he just looks like a physical specimen. I mean, he got a lot of muscles, well proportioned, and those legs are thick. Like you see how thick those legs are? That's a big thing for trainers. They don't want frail, nice gap in there, nice hind, nice chest, and nice chest. Look at that chest. Looks like he can bench press. And you see how thick those legs are? Like you see how thick they are? Like that's what you want to see. Look at that chest. Look at that body, shoulders, the withers, the hind area, the head, the neck. So that's when you see a horse like that, and supposedly in person it was even more impressive. So when you see a horse like that, they usually, especially the colts, they will usually sell more than the fillies. Like if you had a beautiful colt and a beautiful filly, people might actually pay more for that colt. Um, just because the fillies, they kind of a lot of people want to see a family in a filly before they even consider it. But a colt, you'll see colts from like unknown families sell for a lot if they just look incredible. So, but yeah, that is the Lexington, the Goshen and Lexington horses, and he is this that. Lebanon Louis, which we're going to change his name. He's New York and Kentucky. We might not do much Kentucky as a 2-year-old, but as a 3-year-old season, we might if they're good enough. Um, but yeah, back to that. Hope you enjoyed the Goshen and Lexington sale horses. We'll see what we do at Harrisburg. I do not think we're going to do much there. We have 6 already, which is good. But and we do, I always say yearling, you got to build through the draft. That's how you can get a chance to get really good horses to build through the draft. But we'll see what we do at Harrisburg. My guess is if we do something, it'd be like 1 or 2 horses max. Like that is it. So and probably like a New York. Like I really want like a New York, or it could be Massachusetts again, but um definitely would love another New York trotter or pacer. But I have a feeling it's probably going to be a trotter. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. These are the Goshen and Lexington horses, and that being said, have a good day. Have a good week. Thank you.